you're having a great start to your morning. I'm out in my garden and it is mid-July, and I thought I would just give you a tour so you can see how my garden is doing and what I'm growing this year. This section is the start of our garden. It's what we started back in 2014, and it has gone through many changes. The first thing you may notice if you've been following our channel is there is no longer a trellis right there. Right here used to be the entrance, since this was all that we had for a garden at the time, and we had a trellis that we would grow morning glory and clematis over, and it finally decided to fall apart. So it works out pretty good though. Since we've expanded our garden, it opens this area up a little bit, and I think I like it. Over here by the back entrance of the greenhouse, I have some rhubarb. This is my second year growing this particular plant. And up on the greenhouse, I have rosemary. It is some sort of climbing, or it doesn't grow up. Never seen it before. Didn't even know that rosemary would grow this way, but I thought that was kind of cool. You'll see throughout this tour that I have a lot of zucchini. I ended up with multiple plants that I could not throw away, and this is one of them, yellow zucchini. What I like to do is stake these up and just kind of keep them trimmed up so that they're easier for me to pick. This is honeysuckle. Smells amazing. And then next to it we have a raspberry start that we've already pulled several berries off of. The ornamental eggplant. Once they mature, you can dry them for decoration. They look like little mini pumpkins. And then I have all sorts of little plants around this porch area. This is the last of my moss. I'll put a picture up. You could see what the garden looked like before. But before we did gravel, we did moss in between stones all through the bed. It looked beautiful, but it was a lot of work. This is my vinca vine. I always have one of these laying around. Keep it in a container so it doesn't become invasive. We have a couple of chives and a late start cantaloupe. And then my favorite mint is peppermint. I'm constantly trimming this one up. Purple sage. Some more chives. This is the garlic chive. Some dill. A little late start on those as well. And then of course, we always have catnip. Try and keep these in containers also. But plenty of catnip for our kitties. And then just mirrored from the other side is more honeysuckle and raspberry. Green beans. I like to do the teepees. And then this is the temporary spot for now for the strawberries. They seem to be struggling just a little bit, but I have been able to pick some of the berries. These poor things have been moved all over the place. Pumpkin pie pumpkin. Like the zucchini, I like to grow these up vertically just so it's easier to pick and take care of. I've had a lot of squash bugs this year. They're a very gross bug. There's a lot of ways you can combat them, but I just pick them off and put them in soapy water. And then I snip off any of the leaves that have eggs on them. The rosemary These are doing really well. They smell really good. And behind them is my heirloom Black Prince tomatoes. And this box was a new addition this year. This spot, we will eventually build another box that kind of tiers up for the strawberries. But for now, I have Scarlet Runner beans. I had them on all 4 branches, but a squirrel got to that corner over there. And then I had a random yard-long bean come up, so I'm just gonna let that grow. I have green bell peppers. Lost a couple of the plants. Not sure why, but the ones that are in here now are doing really well. And then we added fencing to go in between these 2 boxes. And on it is more pumpkin. This one's doing a lot better since it's not in a container. And my grandbabies love to walk around in this area. See some pumpkins back there. And then Roma tomatoes. I just did a simple stake this year rather than the branches like what I have in the Black Prince. These ones are much bushier and very loaded down. Hoping to do a little bit of canning this year, since I haven't for a couple years. And then where we had our trellis, I had oregano at the base, and I just put them in these pots. And this is our thornless blackberry that kind of died off and is slowly coming back. Spaghetti squash, also growing up. This particular plant has been hit the hardest with the squash bugs. You can even see some of the eggs right there, so I will be clipping that one off. I know there's other ways of taking care of the eggs, like duct tape, getting them to stick to the duct tape. That to me is too much work. I can sometimes be a lazy gardener, so I just clip off the leaf and give it to my chickens. So that is the first section of the garden. And let me show you the addition. Here is the second portion of the garden. We've expanded around where this used to be a chicken run. We've built more boxes, and I got a bunch of these green salt lick containers from my mom-in-law. So over here I have Sugar Baby watermelon. And then all the small tomatoes. Got the yellow pear, the grape, and I can't remember what these are. Kind of a deep red. And then as you can see, lots of firewood. We'll be doing a video in the next month of our juniper tree getting cut down. So we have all these stumps that we may do like seating for around the fire pit. And as I mentioned before, lots of zucchini, magic beans, the ones that are purple and they turn green as you cook them. And we added the fencing just like in the first part of the garden. This is cucumber, pickling cucumber. And I have carrots back there. This empty spot here was radishes. And then on this side, more cucumber. And bush beans. I did have cucumber growing on this left side for this fence, but the beans kind of squashed them out. So I do have a random pole bean that was mixed in the dirt. So I'll just let that grow. Here's a look at the coop side of the garden. I have my clematis growing up on the coop. Hoping to get some more blooms in there. Another vinca. Some golden oregano. And I don't know what these 3 little plants are. I pulled some starts from my daughter-in-law's yard. They're some sort of creeping flower. We have lemon thyme. And then some globe basil, parsley, and some cilantro, lemon balm. And my poor little tree, Japanese maple, it's getting burnt. We'd like to move it. It's been beat up. We've moved this from house to house. The grandkids have pulled at it. We've run into it. This poor thing. It's pretty well rooted, so I'm not sure how we're gonna move that. Watermelon. Lots of little ones starting in here. And lemongrass. I think I may be overwatering a little bit. It's pretty bleached out. This is orange thyme that I found this year in the clematis box. And then another, can't remember the name of this, but another maple, Japanese maple. I think it was a blood something. And then our timeout coop. This lid opens up. This is usually where I will put broody hens, and in between I put our mostly blind chicken, Angel. She gets picked on quite a bit, so she gets her own space. And then at the front of the greenhouse, more of these scarlet runner beans, eggplant. I think these leaves are really cool. This is Morning Glory. This is what I grew over our trellis last year. This is kind of a small container for this plant. It will get rather big, but these just kind of popped up out of the ground and I put them in there, so. And then at the front of the garage, we have cucumber. Both of these are cucumber. Kind of a mix of pickling in here and then the English, which is my favorite variety for cucumber. I've already picked off several. And this is right to the entrance of my art studio. Which I have another lemongrass. And then the last part of the garden is up against the house. See all the tree stumps we have. Over here is where they cut down that juniper. Yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more zucchini. A mix of green and yellow, just in these containers. No shortage of zucchini. I'm surprised I do pretty decent in these smaller pots. And then I have a clematis that I've been babying until I figure out where I want to plant that. So yeah, our next big plans, hopefully this year, is to do some sort of deck or gazebo so we can have some seating that we can come out and just relax. Well, that's it for mid-July garden tour. Hope you enjoyed it, and maybe in the comments let me know what you've been growing this year. Hope to do a video of the tree being cut down. It's pretty cool to watch someone else do that. It's quite an art form. So yeah, thank you for watching, and have a great day.